I'm Jillian.
I'm Julie.
I'm Nick.
I'm Jesse.
And we wanted to start off our presentation just by saying that we wanted to focus on more of a marketing aspect of the museum, because while it could be really cool to get a lot of big projects going and we had a lot of good ideas, we thought
it'd be easier to go down the more simple route instead of doing a massive thing, just to focus on the marketing so people get to know more about the art museum before anything else.
So our mission was simply to use the resources we already have as students to share the word about the art museum to as many CSU students as possible.
Yeah, and our vision was just to kind of put up some flyers on campus, advocate at clubs in Greek life, and just also put it on social media.
So I created this flyer. I took it more simple. The QR code just takes you directly to the website. So like if we hung those around campus, people could just scan the QR code and know more about the art museum. And the first Friday of every month, that's a huge thing here. So we just want to take it simple because I feel like it just draws people something simple you can click on your phone.
Okay, and then we thought a big thing was if we could get the social media pages up a little bit, just because kids our age, like college students, are always on their phone and always on social media, myself included. But I feel like I never knew about this before this, but if we were to like start posting a little bit more on the Instagram and like have people like maybe like a main Colorado State page, like share, like find a way that they could get it shared on their page, or like create a TikTok account, because I feel like that would, like, if people came across that, it would be like, they'd be like, oh, what is this? It's a CSU thing, like let's see. And it would draw people in. And also like there's like Snapchat stories that like I would hear a lot of, like farmers markets, I'll get like a flyer for that on it, or like something like that. And so if I can go see that, or like a band gets advertised, and like then me and my friends were like, oh, should we do this weekend? And so we figured if we got that out a little bit more, then maybe people would want to go.
Yeah, another idea we had for the Instagram was to do like collab posts with CSU art students to showcase the art CSU students are doing, as well as advertise the art museum to anyone that sees the posts of their friends on campus and stuff.
So I took your guys' Instagram page and I came up with some ideas to make it more fun. And
It's okay. We're not insulted.
Just to catch to like CSU students more, because when I go, I'm like, oh wow, this is super cool. So I think in the bio, you can even add little emojis like inspiring creativity in Fort Collins. I think you do something about the masks that are showing now, and like you can add your website. I don't know if it's there. Oh yeah. And then more behind the scenes, you could do post the artist interviews, sneak peeks of like how you guys install all of that, time-lapse setup videos, certain like little things of that, and then brighter, more colorful posts that just attaches to students' eyes. Yeah, so just like spice it up a little, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, and then one of our last ideas about like really how to get the word out is just advocating for the museum at like clubs and Greek life. So this is like what we're involved in, but like we're both in sororities, and what she was saying earlier, like we do need volunteer hours, like as like sorority members. And like if we go to like this like FSL, you can go up to them, you be like, oh, maybe I could like give you volunteer hours for having people come into this. Like we just did this CS Unity thing where we all went and cleaned up a bunch of yards and got hours for that, and it was super helpful for the community, and I think people would be willing to come here and volunteer their time here as well.
Yeah. And then I'm involved in more of the like academic clubs at CSU, and so you wouldn't think clubs like Chemistry Club would really be involved in anything like this, but we get really involved in the community in general. Like we do lots of things that aren't super chemistry related. We make stickers and stuff, or we make like elephant toothpaste, whatever fun stuff that's fun for kids. And we love to get into Old Town, so doing an event here would be amazing. Chemistry Club specifically interacts with a ton of the local like elementary schools and stuff, so that's a good networking path as well, because I know it's really hard to actually reach an elementary school. They're like impossible to talk to. So we already did that part if you want to get into there. And then if you could go to the next slide. Thank you. So we're thinking building some of these stronger relationships with clubs. You can just reach out to the club presidents, which are just students, so that's not super stressful. Start to build a relationship with them and other club officers. Like I'm an officer in Chem Club and Zoology Club, and we are like the people running the club. It's not the advisors, it's the students. But if you do want to get to know the advisors and staff more, you can go through the clubs and get that kind of like networking route into the actual like staff at CSU. And that's maybe how you could start hosting events and fundraisers at the museum to utilize the property here and get more students out of the campus area and into Old Town and seeing the museum. So one of those events we were talking about during the last time we had our little like brainstorming session here was a Ram Welcome event. So I thought that like so many incoming freshmen are here during Ram Welcome Week and they want to get into Old Town, they want to do everything, they want to meet other people at CSU, they want to see live music, get snacks, have fun, and like meet clubs and see what they can do while they're here. So this is like a little sample flyer I made for one of these events where you could just host here and like have people walking through the exhibit, seeing the museum, but also having live music like you guys were talking about, or just like games, having clubs, tabling, that sort of thing. And then just like what we were saying earlier, the volunteer hours is huge. Like students really need that. And then also if you guys really wanted to get ambitious internship positions for like art club students or just art students in general, that would be huge here. It's so local, that would be so easy for students who don't have a car. If you could go to the next slide, thank you. And then this is just like a little drawing of your little
No,
like,
it's,
alley.
I just sent a picture to the mural project to ask them to paint that to make it a stage. So
Right.
your
That would
timing
be
is
super
perfect.
cool. So we were talking about like food trucks, music, like I have clubs tabling, my like little crude stick figures. I just think it would be so cute and fun. You guys have a perfect outdoor area. It would be so nice to bring the community in. So that's all of my stuff.
Any questions?
What's the lead time for volunteers?
The what?
What's the lead time for volunteering?
So like for sororities and fraternities, I know we need 2+ hours just to start.
I think it really depends on each specific group.
Like if we have an event, is it a month warning? Is it a 2-week warning we would give
I
you?
would say probably like a month, just
Yeah.
because we need the time to let our sororities know, like, hey, this
Mhm.
is a huge volunteer thing, take it, and so that would get.
And you guys mentioned getting in contact with the club presidents. How do we figure out who that is?
So if you
Well, we
go-
know him.
So all of the clubs, Instagram is like the best place. That's where like students are most active, so that's what we keep the most up to date. And most of the clubs at CSU, you will see a post being like, here's our officers, because they get like refreshed every year, so they have to reintroduce.
And how do we find the right Instagram page
So
for each
it'll
one?
just be CSU, like if
Just
it's
CSU?
for California, they'll probably say California somewhere on there, so you know it's not them, it's actually Colorado State instead. And then you can go through there. You could also try Ramlink. We're supposed to be all like official in there, and that should have the officers. And if you just reach out to any of the people who are listed as like one of the leaders of the club, they'll get back to you. We're really good with communication and stuff. So just emails, you can DM Instagrams as well. That works too.
And for like sororities and fraternities too, the Panhellenic board, always reach out to them because you can get a lot of people through that to find who the president is to talk to the sorority too, so.
I think you should add those links,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
those
then I
links,
can give it to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
So, in terms of the clubs, to find out what clubs are actually in existence, the best place would be Instagram, or is there any page on CSU's website that lists clubs at all? Just to
so
know.
Ramlink I think is our best, like most reliable source. Clubs, I've had this issue with like every single school on the planet, like clubs and like staff, it's so hard to find up-to-date info on any websites. So I really do think like putting in the extra effort to search through Instagram is worth it. And it's really no like, I don't know, it doesn't hurt you to DM someone and it turns out it's the wrong person, you know what I mean? And if you like need anything, I like can help you look for Instagrams and stuff, so.
And what is Ramlink?
So
Also that.
it's a site. I don't really know what it is. I know that we're registered, like the clubs are registered in there and you like join it as a member. and I don't know if it even has contact info on there. It usually has like a little description, and I think it does link like websites or emails
For
for the clubs.
my freshman like seminar, they had us look through it and like look at all the clubs, and they should all be on there with contact information. I could be wrong about that, but they did have like a good amount of clubs, and you can just like scroll through, and even if like it doesn't have contact information on it, you can scroll through, look at what the clubs are called, and then go to Instagram and be like,
Right.
CSU Outdoor Club, because you saw it on there so realistic. There's probably gonna be an Instagram handle for it too.
Tenora.
Typically, the Instagram is actually also given underneath it, which is super nice.
Mhm.
Like, it'll usually have not necessarily contact information like directly, but they'll have that Instagram handle so that you can go and click on it.
Is Ramlink something the public can access, or is it only
It's
internally?
public, it's public, yeah. But we'll put that rambling information and
We
can
can
put
put
it
to our
this one.
slides.
And for internships, we could go through the clubs to advertise internships?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And are there any hashtags that you'd recommend that we use? Would they get into streams for CSU students?
I would say reach out to. I feel like Instagram's really the big thing
Yeah.
for this. Like,
Yeah,
reach out.
apparently, good, I'm not out of it yet.
Like you can like contact like CSU Art, like College of Art, and reach out to them. Like there's a million. I'm in like natural sciences, so I mostly know about that stuff. But we have a million different Instagram accounts that are clubs, that are like the Warner College of Natural Resources, like all that stuff. We have a CSU bio, just straight up. They will all promote stuff like that. Like they love. That's what they want to.
Okay.
You perceive it.
Cause years ago I was told Handshake and
Oh,
you had to
yeah. Yes, that's
contact
what I was gonna say.
admin
You could
and-
also look at Handshake or like LinkedIn and just post an internship on there, because I know like I go on a Handshake all the time and look at stuff, and I know a lot of people find jobs and internships through there, so that might be.
And the LinkedIn is also recently
I wouldn't
quite
have
popular
that.
among
Yeah,
students as
yeah.
well.
We have
They
a
want to
LinkedIn page. we just
Build,
don't use it.
build their relationships with business people and stuff.
And is there, and then there's a list of sororities in the RAM link.
I don't know. I
Like, how do you get
did
hold
go
of
to
sororities?
CSU.
Instagram?
We were
We are on
asking that earlier.
Instagram.
Okay.
We got it.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
there should
We
be
got
on CSU like Panhellenic on the website. It should list all the sororities, but I do think a big thing to reach out to, like I'm in Zeta, we get DMs and that's how we like collab on stuff too. So I think that's a huge thing.
So, going off what the first group said, like if Josie planned something that they said, like working with the middle school or high school, and it's 4 weeks during the exhibition, would volunteers come week over week, or is it like one-time events?
I think you could get people to come week over week and be like, you could do slot times.
Yeah.
Like, I
Okay.
have slots for this week, and then I have slots for this week. Like, you can sign up and have certain people, like 2 hours, 3 hours, like whatever you think you need. And people will definitely fill those up. So.
I also wanted to add, because your idea of using the parking lot came up in Stuart's class as well, and we've, because of the students, begun to realize that is an amazing event space that we just had thought of as a parking lot. So I just wanted to, you guys are all thinking the same, so that's fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.